kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
We're the huge movie fanatics here to talk about Batman, which is a 1989 Tim Burton movie, and this was in 1989. I was a kid. I can tell you from firsthand experience that pretty much every kid had a Batman shirt on that fall when they returned to school. It was pretty much 3 out of 4 kids had a Batman shirt on, which I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know, but it was it was huge. Batman in 1989 was huge, and you can even watch Friday the 13th Part 8 and see in Times Square I don't know how long that was there. I don't know when they put it there. The bat symbol. I don't know how long it was there, but it's really weird because the movie came out. Friday the 13th Part 8 came out like a month after Batman, so they had to obviously. So that must have been there. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, how long was it there before that Batman movie came out? It's
Yeah.
weird. So this movie was huge, and it was just like, whoa. And it was a movie that, was this one tried to be made for a while?
This was caught in development hell for a long time. Because
10
people
years.
had only been familiar with the 60s one. That's what they sort of were trying to do, and the producers wanted to make something that was a little closer to the comic books.
Okay, I'm going to start in. Now, you probably got dislike for it, which is understandable because of what they did with the Joker and killing his parents. I'm just going to go into it as being basically 12 and seeing this movie, which I have no idea about the character or anything like that. I'm probably biased because I saw it when I was a kid and it was so cool. Although I'm going to go 4 stars just because I think as a whole, it's just amazing. I do like out of all the movies, I like, what's his name? Michael Keaton, Batman, the most. I think that he was really perfectly cast because I think he had this great face and them eyebrows and them eyes to be the thinking Bruce Wayne, the intelligent Bruce Wayne, and I love the what you saw of his mouth when he was wearing the outfit. I really liked Michael Keaton as Batman, and I actually do think that what I love about the first Batman is I think Tim Burton was a great choice. I think it was a great choice. What I love about the production design of the first 2, well, it's the first 2, but the first Batman is like he blends these eras, like the present day 1989 with the 30s or the 40s costume design, which isn't really very. I don't think that's really ever done, where you take an era's costumes and put them into the. I thought it was genius, and when I was a kid, I wasn't so much consciously aware of it until I got older. But when I was a kid, it was just right, because I think that, Batman originated back in those days, and I like, well, that's because I'm a big early 20th century fan anyway. So I like to see anything, especially if it came out in that era or created in that era, taking place then. And I think it was a great way to take advantage of both eras. If you had put the movie in the 30s or the 40s, it might have put the mainstream viewers off. This was a great way of putting it in modern time, but yet still having a lot of the architecture and stuff. And production design also was very early 20th century. Mm-hmm. So it was a great way of doing the best of both worlds. And I thought that the choice, which to fans, it's understandable of just blending the guy who killed his parents and the Joker together. It's wrong, but you can understand why they did it as if they were going to make one movie, let's just mash all this stuff in and say, well, it'd be much more, take the Joker. Well, we can make the Joker much more relevant to Batman if we make the Joker kill his parents. And I think it makes sense.
Bob Kane has gone on record at the time, before he died, saying that if he had thought of it, then he would have made the Joker.
He liked the idea?
Yeah,
he
totally endorsed it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but but he fully endorsed the Joker being the one who killed.
I can see how people don't like it, but I think the movie works. If you're gonna make one Batman or something, I just think it works. So why don't you take off?
I mean, I agree with you to some extent about that. Like, the thing that I like about Joe Chill killing just some everyday Joe, which was the idea, killing Bruce's parents.
Yeah, but the Joker wasn't everyday Joe when he killed him, though.
Well, no, I mean, like the idea of Joe Chill is the dude who killed Batman's parents. That's the character's name. So having an everyday, just Gotham guy kill his parents, that fuels his need for vengeance. He needs to stop crime even at the most basic level.
Because that one guy is a faceless...
Yeah, he's a faceless guy. You give him a face like the Joker, like, oh, I've stopped the Joker.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I feel satiated now. I'm done.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I'm hanging up the cape and towel. But no, I'm really conflicted about this movie. I saw this movie in the theater. This was one of the first movies. I was about 3 or 4. This was not the first movie I saw in the theater. But the first movie I saw in the theater was Edward Scissorhands.
Very briefly.
Yes. But
Edward Scissorhands came after.
That was before. That was 80. Wasn't that 88?
90.
Was that 90? So this was the first movie that I saw in the theater. I saw this one. So this is the first movie I saw in the theater.
Holy shit.
So I mean, like, being a kid watching this movie, I loved it as a kid. Like, I was like, wow, this is great.
Neato.
Then having like read the comic books afterwards, I mean, it does borrow a lot from a really, really great Alan Moore issue of the comic book story where they tell the Joker's backstory. But it's a fake story. The Joker was sort of like lying. They kind of go into it in this one and take it very much for serious, and making Batman having created the Joker, the two create each other, which is an interesting concept. I don't necessarily know how I feel about it, but for this movie, it works. The design on this movie is the thing that like just blows.
Don't you love it?
Everything away.
I think
This is the best Gotham on screen.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Hands
I got
down.
I got goosebumps to hear you say that.
Best Gotham.
Because I was hoping you'd say that, because I love this Gotham.
Oh, it's astonishing
I
how
love
wonderful this Gotham is.
Good boy, good guy.
Roger Ebert has said that too. He's like, man, the Gotham that Tim Burton should just be a production designer on every movie. Like, I mean,
well, then, yeah, I understand.
I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan, but what he does well is he makes movies look good, and this is an example of that. And I like the look of the Joker was so stunningly close to the comic books. Like Jack Nicholson, they got to look perfectly like the comic book villain. Batman, they got to look necessarily good. Like, he didn't look quite like Batman from the comics because he wasn't in the blue and gray, but he was all in black and the black rubber thing. That was a cool costume, and I still think that that's one of the best costumes.
I think Batman Returns costume is the best.
Yeah,
when he could turn his neck a little bit, the cowl was a little more rubbery, so he wasn't like this.
Yeah.
But we'll get up to that later.
Yeah, that is one of my problems. He does look kind of silly when he's perched places and he's like, huh?
Well, there's the time where he's at the Axis Chemicals and he's looking for an escape route. And he's like,
that's exactly what I was thinking. He's like, huh? Like, it's like,
and he's like,
it almost could have been shot with, like, in miniature with the action figure, like some little dude just moving around.
I know. But one thing, don't you? Oh, I love the completely black outfit and then that yellow.
The bright yellow. Yeah, I really like that.
Oh, I love it.
They changed the bat symbol from the first one to the second one.
Did they?
Yeah, it's very subtle. I didn't notice it until I watched the extras, and they're like, yeah, he has the bat has feet in the bat symbol on the first one, and they take that out in the sequels. All of the sequels.
I love how Batman looks in this first movie.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton, I think, is the best Batman.
Not the best Bruce Wayne.
But he's the worst Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily. No,
well,
he's not
we'll
the
get
worst.
to that later.
He's not the worst Bruce Wayne, but he's not really a great Bruce Wayne. What he did really well, and this is the only Batman. This and the second one are the only Batmans that really cover it. Is he's Batman the detective.
Yeah.
You don't really get that in any of the other ones. You do a little bit in The Dark Knight, but mostly this is Batman the detective, where he's like, Alfred, get me, go out, we have to go shopping. That scene, and then they go out and they buy all the chemicals and they figure out what the Joker's done. That's Batman. That was great.
Great.
unfortunately, like, the movie does suffer a little bit from Tim Burton doesn't like comic books, and like you can see his love of
Production design
in that era of film is what that era in history is what transcends like the storytelling in the movie. I'm gonna give it, even though I don't like the movie very much, I will give it 3 stars. Like,
I didn't know you didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the movie.
Why?
Like,
Just because of the Joker thing?
Yeah, like the storytelling in the movie I think is pretty weak throughout. I do like the girl though, Vicky Vale. It was really cool. And yeah, Kim Basinger was really quite attractive in the movie. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with the Joker that I also didn't like that they gave the Joker a name and all that kind of stuff. The Joker is supposed to be just some.
Well, that comes with
nobody knows.
Giving him a name comes with making him the killer of the parents.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That kind of bothers me. But so I'm not blown away with Batman, but it has so many iconic scenes. It's sort of like the Alien principle. There's so much that's good.
The score is like it's like one of Danny Elfman's pretty much first.
Yeah, well, no, I think that might be my favorite score.
It's like the most
one.
Amazing score. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
And
I have the soundtrack to it. And
I have it as well.
It's so good, and
I think the Batmobile looks the best in the first 2 movies.
Yeah, and this movie introduces Harvey Dent. They don't take him anywhere, but I wish they would have like continued on with him in the movies. Because Billy D, he's on the DVD extras. He's like, I'm so disappointed I didn't get to play Two-Face. That's why I wanted to be in the first movie. He wanted to be in the second one.
Oh, yeah.
He was actively like petitioning for it. They didn't want him.
Billy D.
But I think the movie suffers like its greatest benefit is Tim Burton and its greatest weakness is Tim Burton. Yeah,
Aww.
which is kind of unfortunate. But I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Like, it is a good movie with so many great scenes and great lines
and great bat gadgets.
But I don't. Yeah, and great bat gadgets. But I don't really want to watch it all that much. I have to say that I do like that scene where he's like, "How much do you weigh?" And then he like lifts her up and he's like, "You weigh a little more than 108." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And then he's like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
I like that. That was one of the best touches of comedy. And the trek through the forest to get into the Batcave.
Which is the music in that scene.
Yeah, and the music there is just
Holy
quite
shit.
incredible.
And it's just so huge in that car. That's such a great scene.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4 because it's such a powerhouse of summer action, superhero movie. And music, production design, people, whatever. It's all great. Take care. I did it. I thought of it. Take care.